I'm Joan Casey. I'm a postdoctoral scholar at UC Berkeley. Antibiotic resistance is driven by a variety of factors. We have overuse of antibiotics in the clinical setting, people going into their doctor and receiving an antibiotic prescription for non-bacterial infections. Then there's this whole other slice, which is subtherapeutic use of antibiotics in livestock feeds. So I'd actually say this is probably the bigger problem, the bigger slice of the pie. So 70% more or less of antibiotics in the United States are sold for use in livestock feeds. This is likely a problem. You could think about it as if a father takes his daughter to see her physician before she starts kindergarten. And the father says, "My daughter's starting kindergarten this year. I'd like to receive antibiotics for her to take every day for the next year. So I'm going to feed her these antibiotics every morning with her Cheerios." Something similar is going on in our livestock operations where we're using small doses of antibiotics every single day, either through feed or water, to allow these animals to stay healthy and also to help them grow faster. And these are things we really don't need to do if we could change our farming practices slightly. And we could reduce the use, these 70% of antibiotics, down to just therapeutic uses. If an animal is actually sick, we should go in, a veterinarian should prescribe antibiotics and help that animal get well. But we don't need to do this pre-dosing. The kindergartner doesn't need to take antibiotics every single morning in her Cheerios. When I started out, I didn't know that 70% of antibiotics sold in the United States go to food-producing animals. Once I learned that fact, I went on to do a 5-year PhD where I studied the relationship between people living near livestock operations and risk of infection in humans. And we saw that people living closer to those livestock farms or to crop fields where manure from those farms was applied were at an elevated risk of an antibiotic-resistant infection, specifically an antibiotic-resistant staph infection or MRSA. Consumers can play a big role here, and they can make decisions with their pocketbook. And so as people learn about this, consumers then can go on to make choices about their eating behaviors. They can support companies that are raising meat without antibiotics, and that can thereby help us reduce this antibiotic use.